Connection, narration, explanation, persuasion, all vital tools. But what's the most direct way of gifting an idea to an audience? Simply show it to them. Many talks are anchored this way. You reveal your work to the audience in a way that delights and inspires. The generic name for this is revelation. In a talk based on revelation, your main goal might just be to create a sense of wonder and aesthetic delight. If it's a demo, you're probably seeking to amaze and to create a new sense of possibility. If it's a vision of the future, you want it to be so vivid and compelling that your audience makes it their own. Let's take these three broad categories and dig in deeper. The Wonder Walk. A wonder walk is a talk based on the revelation of a succession of images or wonder moments. If a talk is a journey, then a wonder walk can be thought of as a studio tour with an artist who gives you revealing insights into each artwork, or a hike in dramatic terrain with a great explorer as your guide. Each step is a simple one from one piece of work to the next, with a sense of wonder building all the while. If you like that, just wait till you see this. This talk structure is most often used by artists, designers, photographers, and architects, although anyone with a body of visual work can use it. For example, David Gallo's brief talk on underwater astonishments was a glorious wonder walk. He showed us a series of incredible images and videos of bioluminescent creatures that a science fiction artist could barely imagine. It's just a 5-minute talk with a simple structure, but it's been seen more than 12 million times. The appeal of this type of talk from a speaker's point of view is that the structure is clear. You're simply walking the audience through your work, or through something you're passionate about, one piece at a time. But wonder walks work best when there's a clear linking theme, a through line that pulls all the pieces together. Without that, this type of talk can quickly become tedious. The goal should be to give us the inside scoop. Share with us, in accessible human language, what you were dreaming of when you started the work. Show us your creative process. How did you get there? What mistakes did you make along the way? When illustrator David Macaulay shared his drawings of Rome, he showed not just the finished works, but his mistakes and dead ends, and how he got from there to the published illustrations. That meant that every creative person in the room could learn something from it. Lifting the lid on your process is one of the key gifts of any creative talk. Don't just walk people through your work. Figure out the route that engages, intrigues, and enlightens. The route that brings in a little wonder and delight. The dynamic demo. Suppose what you're revealing is not just visual, it's a technology, an invention, or a brand new process. Then it's not enough just to look at it. We need to see it working. When Jeff Hahn showed the potential for multi-touch technology back in 2006, 2 years before the iPhone was launched, you could hear the audience gasp. Pranav Mistri's demo of Sixth Sense technology had similar impact, revealing the amazing possibilities when you combined a cell phone with a personal projector and a camera that can detect your gestures. To give such a talk, the single thing that matters most, of course, is the quality of whatever it is you're going to demonstrate. Is it truly a compelling invention or design? Assuming it is, there are numerous ways to unveil it. When you have something amazing to show, allow yourself to indulge in a little showmanship. I don't mean that you should start sounding glib and puffed up, but you should excite us a little. Give us a hint of what we're about to see. Inventor Michael Pritchard got it right, starting his talk like this. First, he shared a quick thought experiment on how life would be without safe drinking water. Then he embarked on an explanation of the technology behind the lifesaver bottle he'd designed. He had a big glass container on stage into which he poured muddy pond water, sewage runoff, and rabbit droppings, turning the water a nasty brown. Then he pumped it through his bottle into an empty glass and offered it to me to drink. Happily, it tasted just fine, and technological theory was turned into theatrical proof. Michael then went on to speak of the implications of his technology for disaster relief and for global public health. Truth was, he'd already won over the audience with the powerful demo of the idea at work. The structure Pritchard used is good for most demos. An initial tease, necessary background, context, and/or the invention story, the demo itself, the more visual and dramatic the better, so long as you're not faking it, the implications of the technology. Sometimes a demo is stunning enough that it allows an audience to imagine truly exciting applications and implications, and then the demo becomes not just a demo, but a vision of the future. That's where we turn next. The dreamscape. Humans have a skill that, so far as we know, no other species possesses. It is so important a skill that we have multiple words to label its different flavors. Imagination, invention, innovation, design, vision. It is the ability to pattern the world in our minds and then repattern it to create a world that doesn't actually exist, but someday might. Amazingly, we are also able to reveal these non-existent worlds to others in the hope that they too may become excited by them. And occasionally, and even more miraculously, after several people share a vision among themselves, they are able to use it as a blueprint to actually make that world become real. The screenwriter persuades the studio to make the movie. The inventor persuades a company to build the gizmo. The architect persuades the client to fund the building. The entrepreneur energizes a startup team with the belief that they will reshape the future. Dreams can be shared with images, with sketches, with demos, or just with words. Some of the most powerful speeches in history have been powerful precisely because they communicated a dream with irresistible eloquence and passion. Most famously, of course, was Martin Luther King Jr. at the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. on August 28, 1963. His speech lasted 17 minutes and 40 seconds, and it changed history. Marine biologist Sylvia Earle used powerful images and eloquent language to describe the crisis presented by our overfished, overpolluted oceans. But she didn't stop there. She spoke of what might be if we began creating hope spots, marine protected areas where sea life could recover. Her vision was so compelling that one audience member wrote her a check for $1 million on the spot and is still supporting her work 6 years later. In that time, the amount of protected space in our oceans worldwide has more than tripled. There are two keys to sharing a dream effectively. Paint a bold picture of the alternative future you desire. Do so in such a way that others will also desire that future. Doing both of these in the same talk is challenging. The first part often requires visual aids. Architect Thomas Heatherwick included a slide in his talk that might be the single most appealing slide I've ever seen at TED. It showed a design for an apartment complex in Kuala Lumpur with elegant, curved, high-rise buildings that swelled out from a narrow base to allow space for a gorgeous park at ground level. It painted a picture of a future I would have been thrilled to have been born into. That's the power of our dreams. They can spread to others, build excitement and belief, and thereby make themselves come true. Mix and match. Here's the reality. Most talks do not fit neatly into just one of the categories we've discussed so far. Rather, they include elements from many of them. So, select, mix, match, and augment in the way that works most powerfully and authentically for the idea you wish to build.